Hello and welcome. Was thinking about it over the weekend, and I think that at long last, conservatives can declare victory regarding the slippery slope argument. You know, the idea that if you give someone an inch of rope, they'll hang themselves with it eventually. 1 inch down a slippery slope, and you will wind up at the bottom, we warned. For years, liberals and educators alike deemed that to be a logical fallacy. Just because we legalize marijuana doesn't mean we're going to ask for meth to be legalized. Except that's exactly what happened. In Oregon today, as just one example, possessing heroin, cocaine, meth, and other drugs for personal use is no longer a criminal offense. In cities like New York, they've even created safe indoor spaces for drug users to shoot up. Our government supplies the clean needles. So it took just 8 years to get down that imaginary slope. Conservatives 1, liberals 0. Perhaps more recent in our memory is the long-fought and won passage of gay marriage in 2015. 2 points that liberals made during that debate as it raged on over the years. Point number 1, us being gay doesn't mean we're going to make your kids homosexual. We're not pedophiles. Point number 2, all we're asking for is the right to love. 2 people who are in love should have the right to marry. Love is love. And they told the truth, by the way, for about 6 months before LGB became LGBT, became what is today known as LGBTQIA. And now all they're asking for is non-gender conforming restrooms, no boys or girl signs anywhere ever, the acknowledgement that there are a minimum of 26 genders, at least last I checked, an occasional drag queen story time for biological men to be able to compete against biological women, and for biological women to shut up about it. That's all they're asking for, bigot. Oh, and the right to talk to your kids, 8 years and younger, about their sexuality in the classroom. Yep. Now left-leaning politicians and advocacy groups are insisting that your children say gay in the classroom, which is somewhat confusing for those of us that grew up in the 90s who were told by those same activist groups to edit that word out of our everyday lingo. I mean, when I was in elementary school, I called everything gay, colloquially, especially my sisters. You're gay, Ashley, I would say. Oh, that's so gay. That was the cool, hip slang when I was 5. Until we learned that actually it was hurtful to homosexuals, even though we were never aiming the word at them, but using the word casually, we were told, don't say gay anymore. And we didn't, because it was no longer socially acceptable. And the teachers teaching that word, oh, no, forget about it. In my day, it wasn't even appropriate for teachers to be seen outside of the classroom. I mean, I once ran into my 4th grade teacher at the grocery store and I almost fell apart. Hi, Mrs. Longo, what are you doing here outside of the classroom? Oh, buying groceries like a regular human being. Likely story, I'll be reporting this. It was just easier that way in the 90s, right? Teachers taught, siblings fought, but now everything has changed. We've slipped right down the proverbial slope. And as I said, now they want gay said everywhere. Gay, 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 gay. And as much as that excites my inner child, as much as I want to call up my big sister right now with an update, yeah, Ashley, you're gay again, sucker, ha, 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 ha. Despite my inner child, I know, just like the overwhelming amount of people in this country, that what we are really talking about is much more serious. It's a fight from institutions for the right to speak to our children about their sexuality. Young children between the ages of 5 and 8 years old. Don't believe me? Take a look.
I teach 1st grade, which means my classroom is one of the ones that will be directly affected. Do I lie and not talk about my marriage? Do I pretend I'm single? Do I invalidate my spouse's stance as a trans femme person?
The answer is yes to all of those things. What we just examined is a mentally unstable adult predator who has access to children, our children. And there is only one kind of people who don't see it that way, and those are other predators. Like Disney, a company which focuses its content exclusively on children. They've publicly announced that they are going to fight Florida legislators on behalf of these child groomers in the classroom. They will demand that these people, like the woman that we just showed you, has a right to speak to your child about her partner's trans feminist, whatever that even means. As if that wasn't bad enough, a private meeting amongst Disney's top executives recently leaked in which the animation director stated very clearly that Disney has been, quote, so welcoming to my not at all secret gay agenda, end quote. Yeah. It turns out it wasn't Ursula or Maleficent, Captain Hook, or even Scar in The Lion King. Nope. The greatest Disney villain of all time is Disney itself. Boycott them. Every park, every show, every coloring book. Because parents, allow me to make this part perfectly clear to you. What will follow this, the intentional and overt confusion and sexualization of our children in the classroom, is obvious. Pedophilia is around the corner. And don't you allow them for 1 second to convince you that that's some imaginary fallacy that exists in your head. The slope is real. We must not give these freaks and predators so much as 1 inch. Hey guys, I want to take a moment to talk to you about ExpressVPN. Think about how much of your life is on the internet. Sadly, every site you visit, video you watch, or message that you send gets tracked and data mined. When you run ExpressVPN on your device, the software hides your IP address, something big tech can use to personally identify you. So ExpressVPN makes your activity harder to trace and sell to advertisers. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of your internet data to keep you safe from hackers and eavesdroppers that are on your network. And ExpressVPN does all of this without slowing your connection. That's why it's rated the #1 VPN service by Mashable and TechRadar. It's super easy to use, even if you aren't tech savvy. You literally just download the app on your phone, tap one button, and then you're protected. So stop handing over your personal data to the big tech monopoly that minds your activity and sells your information. Protect yourself with the VPN that I trust to keep me safe online. Visit expressvpn.com/Candace. That's expressvpn.com/Candace to get 3 extra months free. Go to expressvpn.com/Candace right now to learn more. Thanks for joining me on this segment of Candace. If you like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel and ring the bell to get notifications on new videos. To watch or listen to the full show, become a member at dailywire.com/subscribe.